out of the way.
Cool. By the way, this is the EMD. Most of you know, for you folks in here that are new, this is the Mid-Cap 400 futures. This is an instrument we like to trade in the room here. It's $10 a tick. It moves fairly smoothly. Today we had 3 trades that set up. Here's the open of the market over here, 6:30 Pacific, right about somewhere right about there. You can see we were in pre-market in a little consolidation patch here, kind of sideways, a little range bound. And you can see right in here, it came down through this pivot, shorting at 74. See how it broke down this area right here? Setting up the first short, came down through this pivot, and then down just missing this 68.80 area right here. That trade would have stopped you out somewhere in here on this bounce, this retrace. And then around, not quite 7 o'clock Pacific, we go into a nice sort of textbook yellow bar probe trade here. See it? Just kind of rolls over very nicely, comes back through the weak stop reverse pivot at 71, setting up the second short right here. Depending on how tight you keep your stops, we always suggest that you keep your stops a tick or two behind the trailing stop dots, and so you would have stayed in this trade here. See how we retraced up through the pivot, started hitting its head. We were watching this when it happened, right? We said, watch for it to roll, come back through the pivot. Sure enough, it did. Down we go, down we go, down we go. And now, when this was happening down here at the extreme oversold 2/8 pivot, a couple ticks under 65. Remember we were saying 65 was your target down here? You got a couple of chances to get out. You didn't have to wait for the retrace up to the stop dots. Boom, boom, boom. Hit it like 3 times over the span of about 15 minutes. You have plenty of time to get out down here. Now, we come up through the trend line. Here's the downtrend line right here. It broke it. You can see right in here around 66, 966. Came up to this little pivot, kind of hit its head for a little while, punched up, pulled back. Got a nice green stealth line here, and then boom, up she goes. Now, what's interesting is that it's 7 a.m. Pacific. Remember, we talk about several times to watch in the market. Right after the open, which is right over here, 7 o'clock, you either get a trend continuation or reversal, which, of course, you see today we got trend continuation to the downside. And then 7:30 lately, I don't know what the deal with 7:30 is, but here was our reversal at 7:30. Here's 7:35. Up we come, and boom, setting up a nice long trade. Now, you would have stopped out of that trade over here. See how it came back through the pivot, 68.80, taking you out? And Gary actually shorted the Russell. Let me drag a Russell chart over, and I'll show you why I'm guessing he shorted it. It's going to look very similar to the EMD chart. And I'm going to drag it over right here. I'll just show this chart kind of right next to it. Here's your downtrend on the Russell. Very similar to EMD. Comes out of the consolidation patch, down she goes. You get a couple of nice short trades on here. Right, the open, and then it's 7. Boom, down, probe, probe, and down you go. Double bottom down here at 18. Gary was targeting 19, and it just broke it by like 6 ticks. See down here, 819. We come up, we reverse, 7:30 Pacific, up we go, punching up, and then where'd you get filled short here, Gary? 22? You short that break right there?
22.20.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I was watching this roll. You can see why he shorted it, right? See, he came up here, couldn't clear this area right here. 1, 2, 3, boom, 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 kind of a triple top, back through the pivot, and down you go. And you probably already have, so I'm guessing, 10, 12 ticks. You probably peel some off at the pivot and then trail your stop close to break even. Good for you. Nice trade. Might go down here and check the bottoms again.
Well, on a 16-range chart, which I showed earlier, I mean, it had literally a shooting star type candle heading down from those, from those blue bars there. Mm-hmm. So I just clicked short right there at 22.20.
Yeah, that was a good entry. Definitely a good entry. Yeah, so you had a good trade there. It's retracing a little bit now, but it should, if it's going to continue down, it should hold resistance up around this 22 and roll back down through this 0.8 pivot at 2030. Should hit, so we're going to get a possible retracement, roll over, and then down she goes, and your next target would be the swing lows down at 1840. Similar price action on EMD here. You can see that she rolled over and broke this, could not get through it, hit its head 1, 2, 3 times, back through the pivot, and conceivably you could be short from here, or you quite possibly just stopped out of your long trade and you're done trading. Nice trades here this morning. Had some beautiful, nice trade setups. On the Russell, the TF, the Russell, and the EMD contract here. All in all, good trading morning.
Just to let Matt know, Charles was asking, the pivot indicator is the breakout math. Matt, just pop that on your chart and you're good to go. That's those bottom of trading range pivot reverses and all that.
Well, yeah, what a lot of traders like about the pivots is that it kind of offers a little bit of form and structure. You know, if I took these off of here, this chart would look very different. You know, you wouldn't see this sort of structure here where you can have a lot of traders in a trend will trade pivot to pivot. You know, they'll short a break, they'll cover some, and then get out and trail the stop on the rest. That's a very good way to trade, pivot to pivot in the direction of the trend. Yeah, so breakout math. Breakout math is the indicator you want to look for. Just put that on. We're trading 4 range charts here, and it gives like a good form and structure to your chart where you can see logical support and resistance areas as the market moves. All right. Now, ever since this week started, we've kind of shifted everything out 30 minutes. It used to be 7 o'clock was our reversal time, and it seems like now, you know, we're getting trend continuation at 7. Like yesterday, of course, we had the beautiful 120 tick runs, and then at 7:30 now we're starting to see 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. The reversals are coming in. So anyway, if you've made some good money trading this morning, you don't have to go chase it around. Just we have a saying in here, of course, nicely green, turn off the machine. So I know I'm done. You know, I took these trades, made some good money this morning. I'm not gonna chase it around anymore. I'm finished. Any final questions before we wrap?
I am too once this trade's done.
Okay, excellent. We do have a pro webinar tonight, 5 o'clock Pacific. We'll send out some links. I don't think we have a Euro session. The Euro session was last night, this morning, right? I see Rich had a good turnout for that. And then tomorrow morning we do have the 2 rooms. We have the regular room here, which Rich and Gary will be in hosting, and then I'll have the educational room open tomorrow morning, 6:15 Pacific.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we don't chop around tomorrow too, because it's been some monster days.
Yeah, Fridays have been a little choppy. You know, I'm going to trade cautiously tomorrow because, you know, ever since the first of the year, I don't know what it is with Fridays. They've been very, very choppy. You know, just range bound and choppy. So we'll be very careful in what we watch for tomorrow. Trying to get through this pivot here, isn't it?
Yeah.
See it struggling.
A shot of just eating it. He wants to, I think, take a screenshot.
Well, you know, if it comes through this 820-30, you should see EMD theoretically break down here as well through this little 1/8 pivot at 66.80. I'd like to see it come down and possibly break through here and target this swing low in the morning down around this 2/8 pivot at 64.80, breaking this area right here. See that little swing kind of right in this area right here? We can't get through it on Russell yet. It's trying to bounce here.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to head lower because I think that was about a...
Right. Let's see if she takes that support level out. Or he could bounce up here. Now, if it comes back up, we're looking for these areas to hold as resistance on a possible probe to the downside. So if you're not already in these trades, word of caution, don't chase them around here. Bank the coin. Go get some breakfast. All right, well, I think that's it for this morning. I hope everybody did well. Glad to see everybody in here, and we'll see some of you tonight at the Pro Webinar. And the ones we don't, we'll see you.